Liverpool 2, Manchester City nil. Man, Liverpool just keep on rolling, man. I mean, their tactics seem to be going through them, well, going through everyone at the moment. City, how many games is that now? I think you're looking at 7 games, was it?
7 games, yeah, 7 games.
They haven't won, well, they lost actually 6 out of 7 games, drew one. Um, we can officially say there's a bit of a crisis at City at the moment, but of course we can't trust that as always. Liverpool, first half, they were brilliant. Second half, they seemed to just sit back, let City do what they're doing, and then sort of catch them on a counter attack, which ended up working for them. But for them, 11 points clear. I mean, that's a massive gap for everyone else to catch at the moment. What's your take on that?
I think when Liverpool started this game, it took everyone off guard. The way they were attacking City, even Pep wasn't prepared for that. And if Liverpool is attacking you like that at Anfield, there is no way you're getting out of that situation. My only surprise is there was only one goal in the entire first half
Hmm.
because of the amount of chances Liverpool created in that game was just shocking. I think today didn't feel the first half didn't feel like a Pep team. It didn't even feel like a City team at all. And that's credit to Liverpool. That's actually credit to Slot's gameplay. I
Hmm.
think the entire season, Liverpool have been playing safe, tactically safe, but today they were attacking, they were aggressive. Today they came out to fight. For the first time, I've seen City play like underdogs. And that is just, I think it's weird for us in the Premier League to see City play like underdogs, despite the fact that they were at Anfield, but credit to Slot.
Yeah, I mean, we rave so much about Guardiola and what he's done for the last few years. And I mean, you can't blame them for maybe feeling a bit tired. 4 years in a row is quite an achievement. But I mean,
Hmm.
Arne Slot, I mean, he's just literally, mind the pun, just slotted in straight into that team. And they're just flowing right now. I mean, results are just keep coming. They look difficult to break down, look difficult to beat. The defense just keeps on improving. I mean, even today they were a bit worried about not Kanate not being there, but my man, what's his name, came in and filled the spot, Gomez.
Joe Gomez, yeah, Joe
Yeah.
Gomez did his thing. I think we need to start talking about Ryan Gravenberch. I
Mm.
think the way he makes Liverpool tick, he's becoming a mainstay for Liverpool right now. And I'd like to see Liverpool play a big game without him before I can make any proper conclusions. Because right now we're seeing Salah as the most important player for Liverpool because of the goals, of course. But then it's like Salah, Haaland, and Gravenberch Rodri debate, whereby if we take Gravenberch out of the team right now, do we have that proper transition from defense to midfield? Because of the way he's been winning balls and winning tackles and second balls, he's been amazing this season.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I don't even know what to even do with Liverpool at the moment, man. They just every position they're just on point. Like all their players, they've been drilled quite
Mhm.
well. It's gonna be a tough ask. It's gonna be a tough one chasing them down really this league. You got to say they're clear favorites now for the title in terms of the way you have to look at it and that massive points gap. I mean, for them, they're looking at Manchester City. That's you got 11 points in Manchester City going into December when a lot of games are going to be coming hitting you fast and hard.
Mhm.
So it's a good position for them to be in come next time round. They have a way of playing which is quite efficient. They don't drain their players out too much. I think in this
Yeah,
game,
true.
I think this game they came out quickly and tried to kill it quickly.
So they can do the normal substitutions and do the proper man management.
Yeah, exactly. I think for them going into the first half, I think they were quite disappointed. It was only 1-0. You know,
Mhm.
they should have had a bit more gap in that. City were given a lifeline that they still were in the game at that point. But you can see from City's point of view, second half they were a lot better. They were their usual selves, but there was just no penetration. But you can see some of the players they were missing back have slowly come back now, so there might be a bit difference for them.
Yeah, I think having Doku, I think Doku was the only bright spot today
Mm.
because outside Doku, City did not have a single threat. Like if it wasn't for Doku, Foden was clearly handled by Szoboszlai very well.
Yeah.
Haaland was nowhere to be seen. Kevin De Bruyne had that one chance. Bernardo Silva, I don't know which position he's been playing, because he has that free roam role. Gundogan's legs are slowly wearing out,
Yeah, 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 yeah. My
and so
God.
that's a big issue. Yeah,
The only thing I can say is, this, mark City at your peril. That's the only thing I can say. We know they've got the history and the pedigree. We know what they can do. I know for sure second half of the season they will come back strong. It will depend on Liverpool, basically. This will not be dependent on Manchester City winning the title in terms of like
yeah.
they'll be. It all depends on what Liverpool does from now on. If they play how they play in the first half, I don't think there's anything going on. But that's that for that. Liverpool shining. Or let's move on to the other big game today that happened. Well, not so big, but big for the new manager that came in, Amarom. Is his first Premier League game at home. At
Yeah,
Old
first
Trafford.
Premier League game at home.
Good game to have Everton there. Everton have been quite solid recently at the back, so it wasn't going to be easy
Mhm.
to break them down. But his new manager's bounce, a big bounce back. Today some players look very different today. Rashford looked different. Maguire looked different. It's like, some people have been injected with something. I need to know what they've been using in that in that training ground
No,
recently.
I think Ten Hag, we need to speak to Ten Hag on why Ahmed wasn't starting games. How Ahmed was that choice behind Anthony and either Rashford or Garnacho,
Yeah,
he was playing on the right wing. How is that possible? Because this boy is just too good.
he's certain levels, man. I mean, yeah, you see him
Yeah.
play and you think, yeah, what reason has he not been playing?
I mean, it's not only, and with Ahmed, it's not only about the talent and the technical capabilities, but the work rates to match the technical gifts. Because you have Garnacho who has, the speed and can dribble a bit, but then makes poor choices. Like Ahmed has everything, the left foot finishing, knows when to give the right pass, knows when to enter into a tackle and all that. And I'm just glad to see Ahmed finally happy and playing in a style that the coach can bring the best out of him.
Yeah, I will put it out there. Since I've been watching him play. I can't find any reason why he hasn't been playing, and to the point where now I see him, I'm thinking he's clearly the best player in the team in terms of like the last few games. Technically,
He's
his
yeah,
football
no,
brain,
he's the
like,
second best player in the team.
yeah. Oh,
The
who's your
best player
top?
for United right now this season has been Mazraoui. We're
Oh,
still waiting for him to set a foot wrong. I
yeah,
mean, the guy has been solid defensively. He's been our mainstay the entire season. He's played all the positions that he's been required to play exceptional. He holds the ball. I think that might be the biggest transfer bargain this season. I'll go down to say this
Mm.
because if you look at it, we got him for 15 million.
Yeah. That's
So
that's
I
a
think yeah,
decent
that's
amount.
a
You have to
yeah.
see
And
this
then
season how he holds up.
and then one of the shocking stats that I learned today was this is the first time we're scoring 4 goals in the Premier League since Ole.
Wow,
Under Ten Hag, we never scored more than three
that's how
goals.
bad it has been.
Yeah, and it's not even if you look at the performance today. We didn't have a good performance, but we had goals. Even the coach said it that our performance was very poor
No.
because if you look at the chances that Everton had, if it was Arsenal, if you're playing Arsenal today, Arsenal would have put away a lot of those chances, especially with Odegaard and Saka being back in form. I think we're still learning the new system. And I think towards the end of the season, some of the players will have kicked in into the new system. But right now, I'm not even sure about this is the first time I'm not sure about us playing against Arsenal. I've always been confident playing against Arsenal, but then
Mhm.
this coming week, I don't really see us getting a point at Emirates, especially since we're going to be away. We're just preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best in this situation. But I'm glad we have a new manager and a new system, and hopefully the players like Rashford, Højlund, and Zaxi,
You've
now they
got
can
players
start
that can hit you
marching.
on the counter.
Yeah,
You have players that can hit you on the counter.
yeah.
And I
So
think
now I'm imagining them back in top
mm,
form.
you have
Yeah.
players that can hit you. But I also think this manager is going to need even more time because for him, he's landed at a
Mm,
point where it's not his team. He doesn't exactly have a transfer window straight away to look for players. So he's got to wait until January. And in January is not really a time where you're going to get, bargains or the decent players. So he's got to probably wait till next summer
hmm
to really go for it. Because I think the club will tell him, look, if we get someone in January, it will affect your summer transfers. So he'll probably hold it out and see what's happening. But can't complain, man. 4-0. I mean, he's making that. I mean, I think he's had more wins than Ten Hag has had for the last amount
Now
of.
I think one of the confidence boosters given the players is the man management. The same thing we're talking about slot, bringing in players, trusting players. That's the same thing Amorim is doing. That's why when players come in, they're trying to fit in perfectly with the system. Shaw can come in, Martinez can come in, Malacia when he's back fit. You can see he's trying to balance Casemiro and Ugarte in the midfield, bringing in Mason Mount slowly. So I think towards February, March, all the players will have kind of integrated into the squad because of how he's been able to rotate them.
Mm.
So I'm glad he can rotate the players, which is something we didn't see under Ten Hag a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, Maguire even looked good. I haven't seen Maguire play decent
Hmm
for a long time. He's always been calamitous,
True,
but he looked pretty
true.
decent. But I think on and forward, yeah, the next game you have is going to be a massive game, going to the Emirates. I mean, especially now since Arsenal come a bit back on form again. All right, then. Another game that happened today, which is actually well, probably when you look at the second biggest game, Chelsea against Aston Villa. Are you surprised how that turned out in terms of level? Because Aston Villa have been on a bit of a poor run at the moment. They haven't got up win for quite a bit, but Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea look deadly to me, man. I mean, still at the back they're a bit shaky, but attack
hmm
wise, I think they can open anyone up.
For me, I'm mostly disappointed in Aston Villa, but I think I should have seen this coming because Aston Villa, anytime they play a big team in the Champions League, it affects the game during the weekend because they don't know where should we put our focus on. Is it the League? Is it the Premier League? And now you can see they're below us right now in the Premier League, actually.
Yeah,
And they were fighting for top four position in October. And so this is the problem of when mid-level teams get to finish in Champions League positions or Europa positions. They don't have the squad to, play four
yeah, to
games or
maintain it, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. But speaking on Chelsea, Chelsea's defense needs to improve, but their attack is very good. They have quality players in the attack, and I'm sad and happy at the same time. All this is football. I'm happy because finally the Premier League is back to where we have Arsenal, Liverpool, United is slowly coming back, Chelsea's coming back. So we have the top teams, being top again and fighting and making the Premier League interesting. It's not just all about Man City, but everyone now
Yeah.
is back.
I think everyone is
We
waking up
see,
to the City challenge for the last
yeah,
thing again. I
true.
correct one thing I said earlier on. Actually, Liverpool are not 11, but they're actually 9 points clear on the table. That's 11 points
Oh,
from
okay,
City,
okay.
but they're actually 9 points ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea, uh, with Brighton in fourth place. Which
We've
that's
won 25 both.
Brighton are actually 11 points up
Yeah,
the ones with City in the same points. But Chelsea looking good, man. Palmer got his goal. He was on a little bit of drought. But Chelsea are up there. They're joint second
mhm.
with Arsenal, just behind Liverpool. And considering
That's the biggest shock this season.
considering as well as also a new manager that they have this
hmm
season, that's not someone that's been
hmm
he's just I think the Chelsea manager, he's just been quietly going under the radar and not been getting too many
New
focus on.
manager, new players, new squad,
Yeah,
new
he's
everything.
just quietly sneaking going under there, because I rate that Chelsea squad. But Okay, then. Now let's just quickly before we go. I think we've got a bit more time just to go on yesterday's game. Um, Arsenal away to West Ham, London derby. Well, that it clearly shows since Mr. Martin Odegaard has,
Odegaard.
things have changed up. I mean, Arsenal clearly don't have any answer to replace that guy in that position. They don't have any kind of creative midfielder that can fill that position. So it's kind of risky. But Odegaard made a big difference. And I mean, yesterday it looked like Arsenal back to the old ways. I mean, they completely tore apart West Ham in the first half.
Now I think every team has a one player. You have. Oh, sorry. I think my connection cut out a
Yeah, yeah.
bit. I
You're back now.
apologize
Yeah,
for
you're
that.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
But I think every team has that one special player. You have Bayern have Musiala. Right now Barcelona have Yamal. Arsenal have Odegaard.
Yeah.
City have Rodri. Chelsea have Palmer. United were still looking for that player. So there's always that special player who's very hard to replace. But when I was watching that Western game, my mind was, why can't someone tackle why can't someone injure Odegaard? I just need not
They did
because
already
if
before.
Odegaard was in if Odegaard was in any other team, I'd be tuning in to watch his game every day because that player is very special. But the simple fact that he's in Arsenal just sinks my heart
Hmm.
because he's too good for Arsenal. I think I need Arsenal to not win for the next two seasons just so that I can see Odegaard and Saka in better teams. But yeah, that connection Odegaard and Saka have is very special.
Hmm.
And someone needs to injure this boy for the season. I want the best for him, but I want the worst for Arsenal. So that's
Yeah.
my dilemma right now.
Yeah, you don't want him in Emirates next week. That's the problem that you have.
Nah.
I mean, from Arsenal's point of view, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, they're not going. They didn't go through issues that City are going through right now. I mean, Arsenal were more like they
no.
sort of survived their injury games a bit better than City have been. City is going through madness. But from Arsenal's point of
Mm.
view, I think, of course, they got a better defense than City. That helped out Arsenal quite a bit. Um, but their focus has changed completely, I think, from today's game. Seeing that Liverpool is a team to chase now. That's the target. I don't think they're going to be thinking City is the one, even though, staying ahead of City is the way forward. But what's your take on Arsenal? I mean, what do you think when you see the last few games? How are they looking for you?
I think Arsenal need to borrow a leaf from Liverpool and know when to. I think Arteta still hasn't learned that he needs to manage his players and rotate his players because West Ham 5-2. Do a bit of rotation, bring in players so they can also, get used to your system. If Liverpool, look at Liverpool today, 2-0, he's already done his substitutions so that everyone can get into the system. I think that's the one thing that Arteta needs to learn to take him to the next level. Because, like we're saying, if he has the injuries that City had, if either Saliba or Gabriel is injured for, let's say 4 months, or Odegaard was just injured for 2 months, and we already saw the gap. For us to see City's gap, they had to lose Rodri, De Bruyne, Diaz, Stones, all of them to have that big gap. But Arsenal only lost Odegaard because of that man management and bringing
Mm,
in players to play different games. So that's the only thing Arteta needs to work on. Just do the simple substitutions and bring in players. Yeah. Why did you bring Sterling? Sterling never plays.
mm. That's the only thing I don't understand. Like signing players for
Yeah.
the sake of just signing them and not using them if they're not coming in to make a difference. Like when I look at that Liverpool team, I don't see anyone in that team that's just there to hang around. Everyone
Everyone
has a
plays.
purpose. Players get signed, they have a purpose, and I like their work ethic. And that's why I asked them. But then also, Arteta, this is his first management of a football club. So he's almost like he's still just practicing at Arsenal to hone his skills. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
but then
Whereas
but
when
then
you look
he's
at
been there
Klopp,
for how many years has he been there? That's the question. How many years have you been at
Yeah, but
Arsenal?
that's what I mean. So he wouldn't normally get those kind of times at any other big club. You wouldn't get
Hmm.
the way he started off, but he turned it
Yeah,
around. Things worked out for him. But then also he's getting a bit found out as well in terms of
yeah.
sometimes is kind of one dimensional, the game. And there's no like game management or control. I mean, you look at Liverpool today, first half they just came out, and then he's kind of like, okay, guys, let's sit back for them a little bit and let's catch them on the counter because they're gonna come out hungry.
Hmm.
City are gonna come out hungry, and we can just hit them and kill them off, you know? And then also the
Yeah.
other side is the players you're bringing in. Who are you bringing in? Like just the kind of players. I mean, when I look at someone like Gravenberg, yeah, um, and then you look at who
Endo.
and Arsenal
Look
signed.
at
Was that was it Moreno or Marine?
Merino, Mikel Merino.
Mika Mourinho. Two different levels, you know, like two different
You
levels.
bring
Like,
in, yeah, he was bringing in Rejects. Like, why are you bringing in Sterling? You don't need Sterling to take you to the next level. You needed to find someone who can actually compete with Saka so that Saka can improve his game. Saka is looking at Sterling right now and he already knows his position is locked down. It's the same thing that happened with Martinelli and Trossard. There
hmm.
was so much competition that they had to be on their toes. To this day, they have to be on their toes. Havertz needs competition. Gabriel Jesus is already. I think Gabriel Jesus might be sold, and Arsenal won't feel his presence still missing
And then the other
because he
part is why
rarely
is he not
plays.
playing? Why is he not playing Waneri more? Why is he not starting Waneri? Because
Exactly.
clearly that boy needs to be starting, you know? And I
Hmm.
don't, what is he saving him for? Like, what are you like building him up? Like, just that's another part I don't get. Like, you see other managers, they can see players and they're like, this boy can play. I need to play him. You look at Barcelona, they see Lamine Yamal. You don't see them benching him thinking, yeah, he's 17, yeah, he's good, but he still needs a bit of time. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's such a Spain won a tournament with him. You know what I mean?
Spain
Yeah.
won a tournament with technique. As long as you're technically gifted, that's
Mm.
the whole point. You just need to be technically gifted. There's no need of playing Rice and Partey, two defensive minded players when you can bring in Noneri and connect the midfield and link up with either Rice and Odegaard or whoever is going to be there and improve your attack.
It's you gain game experience by playing. You don't gain game
Mhm.
experience by the manager talking to your ear and training and saying this kind of stuff and talking all this and but I think Arsenal's still got a long way to go chasing this Liverpool team time. I mean the only good thing I can say about it is they look good when they play Liverpool. They didn't look this bad. They look better. They should have beaten Liverpool in that game.
Yeah,
Um
I wish Steve was here to make so I can make this comment. Arsenal is the Atletico Madrid of England.
mm.
We all love Atletico, but we know no matter how good
No, no,
Atletico play,
that's if Odegaard is not playing. That's if there's
the
no Odegaard.
Arsenal. Now, my point is Atletico will always play well, but will win a title once in every decade.
No, I don't know.
That's
That
the
he's
same
gonna
with
win the title
Arsenal.
right now. He's been shown up, man. If Slot comes in and wins the title, that's just that's just
Ateta
a
needs
killer right
to,
there. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And Edu is leaving.
If Slot wins the title, and Chelsea finish above Arsenal as well with two new managers. I mean, hell, even add Amorim even finishes in the top four with Man United. Like if he qualifies the Champions League, I mean, that's just the Arsenal board need to sit down and think about their recruitments.
Amorim just needs to win. Amorim just needs to do what Mourinho did. Finish Europa.
Hmm.
That's all he needs to do. That's if he wins Europa and he's outside top four, United would still have a better season than us if Arsenal don't win anything.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
the
But
whole
you're back in the
point.
Champions League and you got a
Yeah,
major trophy. So of
yeah.
course, that's not going to be out of the question. But yeah, I guess that's how we are. It's been a crazy weekend, man. Like this is roller coaster. But again, we come out of the weekend thinking Liverpool are still parked there on top, 9 points on top of Arsenal. They
Salah
came
breaking
their big games,
records.
huh?
I saw Salah has equaled Rooney's record. He's assisted and scored for the 36th match.
Here you go.
Only when Rooney has done that. So I feel like every season Salah is always breaking a record.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's doing
Yeah.
something, but he's killing it at the moment. But that's how it is. Hillary, again, man, pleasure. Thank you, man. We'll catch you again soon. But that was another
Cheers.
round of the games, people. Kenny Fan TV, welcome, people. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. See you, man.